Coming to my next question, like, how do you ensure that the inclusion of diversity is enhanced in your group? And also it creates a safe space for people to speak their minds, discuss new ideas, and also irrespective of where they are in their personal or professional life. So how do you bring that?
Our book club is nothing to do with, where you work, right? And sometimes in the introduction, in our different meetings, I deliberately say, do not say where you work for, right? Or what you do. Because the idea is not that, okay, only these folks will be part of the book club and these folks are not. Everybody is welcome, regardless of their religion, regardless of their work settings, regardless of where they come from, which country, it doesn't matter. Even in our book club, we have inclusion already, right? Because we have different religion people, right? So it is not limited by that. The diversity will definitely get spread across when people can access our website. Because today, if you think of it this way, that we are telling someone in our close groups, right? So you usually meet people from your work or from your family, friends and all, right? But those are limited, right? So when we go global, there is no limitations, right? Anybody can join, right? And I was very clear on that the language, the region, the religion won't be a barrier for our book club, and not even the genres of the book, because a lot of therapists who joined, they felt that, do we read certain books, certain categories of books? Because a lot of book clubs, they read together, right? So they pick a book, let's say an autobiography or a biography or a fiction, right? Or a business book or whatever, right? But we do not have any such limitations in genres of the book, right? So
yeah, I think as people are listening to you and your ideologies, I think that's broadening up their perspective. And I hope you'll get more members to this club sooner.
Oh, thank you for that. I hope so too. If you have questions, right, before joining the book club, and that's very important step, right? And that is why I came up with this question, that what is the unique outcome that you want to accomplish? Because it sounds on the surface that, oh, they have a book club, right? Oh, let me join, right? But how it is going to help you, your mental model, right? And a mental model is very important, right? How you are perceiving this book club in the coming days, that is going to help you, your closed ones, and also you play a role to give it back to the community, right? So once you connect these dots, that's when you realize what's your why power. And why power or willpower, like I said, right? That's very important.
So from every talk show, I get some learnings. And from this talk show, I'm just thinking of, I'm learning one thing. That's what's your why power.
Exactly.
Yeah. So maybe from next time, if you're doing any tasks or getting involved in some activities, you should know what is your why power. Yesterday, when I met your book therapists, I was really happy to know that they're reading the books, they're understanding, and they are sharing it like so candidly. It was just like a conversation. They are sharing it with the team. They're also mentioning like how it has enhanced or helped them like imply it in their business or in their work area. So that was a very insightful discussion.
So that's what I call is a connecting the dots, right? You read a book, even an autobiography, even a biography. I'm not talking about just self-help books, right? Because self-help books, of course, they talk about a lot of ways how you can help yourself. What are your next moves, right? What are your habits that you want to build, right? But how to apply those in your day-to-day life, how to apply, again, going back to those physical, mental, relational, and spiritual life, right? And that's when you see the impact of the change. So it is very important for you to kind of write down your why. And also, as you read through, you write some key words. This is exactly what I do while reading. I try to write some key words from that book. I may not be able to remember that book entirely, but at least I can go back and look at my notes and look at some of the key words, and that will spark that thought process. Okay, this is what I learned from that book, right? And as they say that the first time when you read a book, you highlight the book. The second time you read the same book, the book highlights you. So it is very important to read the books twice, but we don't get time. Hopefully, after our retirement, I think we'll get more time to read the books the second time.
And so these are some great tips that you're sharing. And I think anybody who wants to, again, like has gone through a pause and wants to come and again start their reading journey, these tips will definitely help them.
I hope so. Yeah. Yeah.
So I know like reading is a very healthy habit. But when we say like we should be enhancing the human mind, there are certain other perspectives like speaking, writing, and of course listening. So do you have any plans of integrating them maybe later into your book club?
We did not discuss a defined plan yet, but absolutely, I think these are something which is baked into our club's mission.
Yeah.
And you talked about listening, right? And I'm a big believer of empathic listening.
Yeah.
Empathic listening is not just an attentive listening that we always talk about, right?
Yeah.
Empathic listening is also reflecting back and giving that ear to the person who is speaking, right?
Yeah.
That psychological ear is what I'm talking about. So when you are empathic listener, you are giving that psychological ear and reflect the feeling.
Yeah.
And when we meet during our virtual meet or during our in-person meet, which happened yesterday, that is what we need to practice, empathic listening. And seek first to understand, then to be understood. So listening is such a great power. And our book club meetings are the great examples.
Yeah.
You can practice your empathic listening because when someone is sharing their insights, their ideas, their wisdom, their knowledge, the information they got, the learnings they got, if you are an empathic listener, you will listen, you will give that psychological layer to the person, but also you will reflect your feeling. And that's when you connect the dots. It is definitely helping the speaking power because even yesterday or even in our previous meets, a lot of people said that I'm a very introvert. I don't speak up at all. But this is a settings that we wanted to create where everybody is empowered to speak. And as you might have witnessed yesterday, everybody was like, they were so much interested to talk about their stories. And their stories are what they have learned from the book and how they are applying to their day-to-day life. And writing, that's always on my radar. I always wanted to start my writing journey and I wanted to help all our therapists to start their writing journey because I think with reading, when you also add writing, I think it helps clears a lot of clouds in your mind, right? And that's what I call the connecting the brains and connecting the dots. So these are the three things absolutely will happen organically through our book club.
Okay. Yeah, because I think this holistically beautifies the human mind. And in today's world, we really need beautiful minds to show up, share their empathy, as you said, through their actions or through their words. And that's how we build a community of like-minded people.
Absolutely. If you go through our mission statement, I think we said that, yes, we will be fostering learning and broadening perspective, sharing insights, idea through empathy, care, and love. And you talked about how can we create that safe space for everyone, right? And that's going to happen through empathy, care, and love. We have to respect each other. We have to help each other. We have to contribute, bless each other so that you may be ahead in your reading journey and somebody is just starting the journey. How can we get that person up to the speed? How can we make sure that we build that habit into them? How can we help them? And it's not just about getting into the reading habits, but any life good habits, right? Through the pages of the books. And that's how I see it. My book club is going to help the entire community.
Yeah, it's definitely helping, as I'm saying always, and I'm just repeating the same thing again and again.
Thank you for that.
So I really want to understand, because you're already an established leader in the technology field, and you also have a great flair for reading personal development books as well. So what does leadership mean to you?
That's $1 million question, I would say. For me, over the years, the definition of leadership changed. But my latest definitions, if I want to give you, is leadership is not a fancy title. Leadership is the impact that you make. And what I try to practice during when I lead is how can I show the worth and the potentials in others who I'm working with so that they can see themselves clearly. Because often we feel that leadership means it's like instructions or guidance or giving orders, right?
Yeah.
But that's not leadership. Leadership is you show the potential, you show the worth of that person so that they will see themselves and they will do the wonder with that. So that's for me is the leadership. And this is why I say, right, that yes, I am the founder of this book club, but now it's everyone. Whoever is part of our book club, we are all the leaders of this book club. There is not just one leader. Yes, often what happens is for certain activities, we need to assign one leader, and that leader is but it's going to be happening round robin ways, right? So it is very important. And since you triggered this question, one of the thoughts I have, and I had and still have, is how can I make better leaders through our book club too? Because when you help someone to speak up more, or empowering their speaking or listening, I think you are building those leadership qualities within them, right? So eventually, hopefully, we as our book therapy community will help build future leaders.
That's a wonderful perspective. And I would just tell you why I asked this question, because it's very important. If somebody who is not a part of this club, they should know the person who is driving this club, what is his mindset, what he thinks. So now you know what the leader, or I wouldn't say leader, but the founder thinks about it. And if that vibes with what you believe in, I think you have ample reasons to join this club or any other club. But it's very important that you get insight into what is the motivation of that group and who is heading that group, how that person thinks. Because if that matches with your ideologies, you can be a part of that group.
Sure.
So, So we have got an insight into the club, but if you want to share some major accomplishments in the 6 months, and of course, what you're targeting to achieve at the end of 2025.
It started with a WhatsApp group, right? And one of the things that, and the very first initial things that we wanted to create is a virtual library. So everybody owns certain books in our book club, right? Within all our therapists, right? So we started creating a list of all those books so that we can borrow or we can lend to each other, right? So that you don't have to buy the same book that I have, right? So that was key, and we are still developing. It's work in progress, and it's gonna continue forever, right? Eventually, when our website is fully up and running, we wanted to create a space where you can look at what are the books we have, and I'm calling it as virtual library because we don't have one library where all the books are sitting, because everybody has their books on their bookshelf at their home. So that's the first one. The second one was we also wanted to create our future reads. What I have noticed that once you start reading a book, you get some cues of your next read, because the author will talk about certain other references that he got from different books, and most of the times from my experience, it attracts me to find my next read. However, it may or may not. So a dedicated team are working on the future reads and with different genres of the book, and then eventually the plan is to also kind of put some reviews for those books. Suppose a few of our therapists have already read that book. How do they feel about that book? And that will be posted on the website. The third thing is, of course, the website. We talked a lot about it, even though it's a beta version, but hopefully in the next few months, it'll be fully up and running. And that was probably one of our biggest achievements so far. We are also creating more like a idea tracker where we have different ideas, and I think we were talking about certain things, right? How to include children or all age groups, right? Or what are the plans that we have. So we have already started creating some backlogs of ideas, and of course, three universal currencies, as I say, that is time, resources, and flexibility, right? So we have to see what are the low-hanging ones, and then we will start implementing it. We'll start posting it in our website. One of the accomplishments, if we may say that as an accomplishment, is yesterday was our third in-person meetings, and we have had like 4 virtual meets. The feedback I'm getting from all therapists that we should meet more frequently. And that was the idea I had, right? Initially, that every quarter, every 3 months, we are going to meet once in person and virtually once in a month. However, we may think of, increasing the frequency in the coming days. I think that's pretty much it from a major accomplishment so far. And then we, of course, got our t-shirts and then some stationeries in terms of bookmarks and badges. And that kind of create a sense of belonging.
Yes.
That's how I see it, right?
Yeah.
So we'll continue to, work on those, right? How can we make it more like, sense of belongings within everyone?
Okay. I think that's a long list of accomplishments in just 6 months of time.
I think so, but it is again, thanks to every member of our book club, every therapist, right? With their out and out effort, I think we are where we are. The next couple of months, I think it is going to be very key for us to roll out more releases with different features of the website.
Yeah.
And that's our key focus.
I think that's what happens when technology meets ideas, and that's when how you thought of creating a website. But is there any other plans where you can establish this technological element and really help in this book club growing?
Well, I always feel that technology is always an accelerator, not the creator of momentum. The creator of momentum for any initiatives, be it at your workplace or be it something that you are doing any self-development or even for our book club, right? Is that pupil, is the individuals. And some of our therapists also read that book. It's called Good to Great, where the author mentioned that get the right people on the bus, get the wrong people off the bus, and get those right people drive the bus in the right direction. So it is very important for us to have the right people who have the like-minded people. They have their wavelength matches and they connect to that ideology and mission statement. Book club is a lot of fun. Fun elements are absolutely there. And when I thought about this book club, I always told myself that we need to have the fun element. That is also will keep us going. But at the same time, if we cannot connect to that mission statement, I think at some point, your why power is not going to be that strong to keep you going forever. So yes, I mean, technology is growing at a rapid speed today, right? And you talk about generative AI, you talk about agentic AI. There is a lot of things we can do using that technology, but I'm very mindful how we are going to bring that technology to the book club because, technology is changing at a pace that it never happened before, especially over the last couple of years with the advent of the Gen AI. When we were designing our website, I think we had an AI companion, but to me, it's very important to challenge the AI and also kind of have that human element. That's what we talk about even in AI, human in the loop. Why do we say human in the loop? Because it is very important for us to have that human in the loop and human people take those decisions. And of course, technology will accelerate you to get there. So that's the plan.
Yeah, I think even when you are saying about the book club, I think we need people also to understand, like, it's good to have AI in our daily lives, be it technology. Like right now, it's all about AI. But eventually, it is the people who should drive those initiatives because human minds are very fascinating. Trust me when I say that. You don't even know what you are capable of. So let's explore that. And machines can still wait and do whatever they can. So yeah, I believe like that's a wonderful discussion that we had today. So now we are coming to the most interesting section of this episode, which I call as Rapid Prompt. So I will be asking my guest a series of questions and he has to respond it rapidly. So let's see how this goes. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Brace myself.
Okay, so here we go. The book that impacted your life.
The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey.
Okay. How many books you have read so far? An approximate number?
In the entire life?
Yeah.
It could be 200 books.
Oh, that's a lot. Okay. So your favorite genre?
That's a difficult question, but I would say self-help.
Okay. The English book you would recommend for everyone to read?
Atomic Habits.
Okay. It seems like your favorite one. Okay. The Bengali book you would recommend for everyone to read?
Anything by Satyajit Ray, right? I would say Feluda, right? Koilashe Kelenkari, or any other Satyajit Ray books, right?
Okay.
Those are classics.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's very difficult to pick one.
Okay, yeah, I understand that. So, the lesson you learned from the last book you read?
Well, my last book was The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. If I need to put in one line, I would say that the power of hope in darkness.
Okay. What would you prefer, book therapy or a spa therapy?
I would definitely prefer book therapy over spa therapy. There is no doubt about it.
Okay. And your favorite author?
My favorite author is Stephen R. Covey. Even though I read like a couple of books from him, if it's just one favorite, I have to stop there.
Yeah.
But James Clear for sure, because he's the author of Atomic Habits.
He has to be on the list.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. 3 things you want to integrate in the club in the upcoming days.
So first thing is I wanted to enhance our website to a level where it is so seamless experience for anybody who wants to join the book club. The second thing that how can we include all age groups, right? Because that's going to be key. And the third thing would be, doing more like workshops through our book therapy community meet, right? And that could be a different collaboration of workshop of writing challenges, reading challenges, and stuff like that.
Okay. And your favorite quote?
I have so many, but if you want to pick one, I would say your inner circle should feel like a hug and taste like a freedom.
That's lovely. And here I come with the last question. So let's say if somebody is starting on their reading journey, what would the book you would recommend for a child, an adult, and an elderly person?
I would say that I was inclined to say Atomic Habits, but I'm not going to say that. There is a book, it's called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens.
Okay.
So there is a version of the teens that was written by, I think, the Stephen R. Covey's son, Sean R. Covey.
Okay.
And then when it comes to the adults, I would say my favorite book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It could be also The Worthy by Jamie Kern Lima.
Okay.
Because that book changed my perspective a lot. And for the elderly people, I would say that if they are at their retirement age, you pick any of the fiction or autobiography or biography and just read it at your leisure, right? So, that's it.
Okay. With this, we come to the end of this section. And as always, as a ritual that we perform, I'm sorry, we don't perform, but we do it. That is a token of gift from us to our guest.
Oh, thank you so much, Samadrita, for this.
It's all our pleasure.
Appreciate.
And I really feel with the habit of reading, now you will also start with the habit of writing, with this at least.
That's probably the best gift because I wanted to start my writing journey. And I'll probably start my writing journey with this diary.
Okay. So do you have any last message for our viewers?
Yes. So I think I definitely want to emphasize the fact that reading has got so many values to your life, and once again, in all 4 dimensions of your life, not just physical but mental and relational, or spiritual, emotional. It helps you to be a better human being, and also it teaches you how can you contribute towards the community. And once again, why power over willpower? I think learning is something is lifelong, right? And the books and the pages, through the pages of the books, you can make a habit of lifelong learning. With that, I would say that keep reading and keep reading and keep reading.
And with this, we come to the end of this show. And I must say again, I had an insightful discussion with Abhijit. Thank you for exploring the book club with all of us, sharing your insights into how you want to get it developed in the upcoming days. And of course, building or gifting something to the community.
Sure. And thank you so much once again for having me at your talk show. I am representing a very vibrant community of the book therapy, and I hope I have done the justice to talk about our book therapy club and represented all of our book therapists. and I'm pretty sure they will be excited to see this talk show.
I'm humbled to listen to that, but yeah, thank you again for coming here. And with this, we come to the end of this show. And as I always say, if you get inspired by the stories that I share, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's where you get to see the whole of the episode. And of course, as we are exploring that old school habit of reading once again, I would suggest, with the attention span really decreasing with time, just start reading a book, even if it's a page a day. That will really help you to grow and also in the community that you thrive. Thank you for watching and keep shining.